What's up with it? OG Hollywood tapping in. This is the craziest story I ever told on YouTube. We talking about Tall Ace, PCP, and a gold chain. Let's get to it. In 2001, the Alphabet Boys tore the hood up. Everybody knows about the big SMM indictment that took place back then. You know, we know about a lot of comrades we lost due to cooperation and so on and so forth, right? Now, I think if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think B-Mo and Lil E went down before this, right? If not before this, then right after. It was all close. It wasn't too far apart, this time period. Now, once all these guys go down in the hood, it's not a lot of people, as far as homies, who was SMM Bloods, who was left remaining in the hood. When those indictments started coming around, it was rumored about who else's name was on it, who was next, this, that, and the third. So I did the most logical thing possible. I got little, right? I went out of town. Now, I can't say where I was out of town because this crime involved some criminal activity, all right? But I researched, and it was nothing that doesn't have a statute of limitations. Nobody got unalive. It was nothing sexual, took place in the incident, okay? So it was some street stuff. It was some wild street stuff, but nobody unalive, nothing sexual. So check this out. I'm OT getting money, doing what I do. Told y'all before, I was DKNY. I was the Dust King of New York. So I'm in this particular town outside the city, and I'm selling my PCP, my angel dust, my wet, my leaky leak, my zoo bang, if you go that far back, Now, in the process of me doing this, every night I would encounter a lot of traffic who was looking for crack cocaine. I didn't participate in the sale of crack cocaine at that point in time of my career, right? So it got to the point where I was legit turning down a decent amount of money every evening by not participating in that game. So I took it upon myself to go back to the block and tell some of my bros, what was going on, who that was their line of work in the neighborhood. And I told them what it was hitting for and that, they could make more money than they was making in the neighborhood. And there's so much action, y'all could probably, do this faster than you're doing it here and make more money, right? So a couple of the bros, it was Tall Ace, it was Styles, rest in peace, and Poke. Now, Rock and T-Mo had been up there, but they never really planted their feet and, dropped their nuts up there like that. So I put these guys on and they start going with the flow. They start coming up there on a train every night. They would catch the train. It's this train that takes you out of town to another state, right? They got all types of trains that do that. They got Amtrak, they got Metro North. You know how that goes. They got trains that take you places. So they taking a train to this town every night, and they rinsing their packs. They eating. You know what I'm saying? Now let me tell you about the homeboy Ace. I love to make jokes with and on Ace when I see Ace, but it's never a disrespect thing. I got a lot of love and respect for the homie, but he just tickles me. He make me laugh because he's a tall fella. He's like 6'6", 6'7", and he's long and lanky, and I just always find something comical to say about him if I look at him long enough, So Ace had just done a bid in the penitentiary. If you be in the penitentiary, you should know Ace. He in the penitentiary right now. Ace be in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? I don't particularly think he likes it in there, but maybe he's so tall he's not a good crook, and that's why he get caught. I don't know, but Ace be in the penitentiary. upstate New York. You a New York State prison nigga. You should know Tall Ace, right? Now, this nigga Ace comes home and he makes a cardinal mistake. All right. What he does is he takes it upon himself to go shopping without taking anyone with him. Okay. If you know anything about doing time, if you miss a considerable amount of time on the street, and you're about to go spend some money, some decent little change shopping for some new clothes, perhaps you should take somebody with you who's been out here and they know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable to wear at this point in time. Ace ain't do that. No, not Tall Ace. Ace won. Ace went shopping by himself. And what did he do? This Negro brought the entire collection, the whole collection, the entire whole platinum FUBU collection. For you young heads out there who don't know what platinum FUBU was, it's this thing that came out after FUBU was really already out of style. And they decided, they took it upon themselves to put giant Fat Albert characters on all of their clothing. Humongous, big, all of the characters. From Fat Albert to Rudy to Mush Mouth. They had all of them like slapped all over this clothing. It was not the best looking thing. At that point in time, Fat Farm and FUBU had their run. We'd moved on to what was the NYC that we used to call Inichi, with academics, Rockaway and Sean John was still somewhat acceptable at that time, certain things like that. But it was definitely no FUBU going on. Let alone platinum FUBU with the giant Fat Albert mans all over them. So here comes Ace. 6'7", long and lanky, with a FUBU suit on. One day he's got the FUBU button up on, with a big giant FUBU man, and he's got the blue FUBU jeans, and the jeans look a little two-tone or something. Next day he's got the hoodie on, with the big giant FUBU man on it, and the black jeans. And they got Fat Albert people on the pants too. There's Fat Albert people everywhere. He's a walking Fat Albert show. So the next day he comes out, with the t-shirt on, with the Fat Albert, and then the brown jeans. I'm like, my nigga, you bought it all? He looking at me like I said something wrong, or I shouldn't have, highlighted the fact that you actually took cash money that someone somewhere worked for, and you went in these people's store and you bought the entire goddamn platinum FUBU collection. This shit is unheard of. He's got to be the only guy in history that did that. All right, so along with the platinum FUBU collection, he buys this gold chain. It's got a bird on it. This is before Dipset was really making any noise or anything like that I'd ever heard of. So, he's got the bird, the Dipset bird, but a pre-Dipset on his chain, And he's long and he's tall, so when he walks, he makes sure so the chain slings. He got a sling to it. The chain rock with him. He doing a rock. The wop. He doing a wop with the chain. He whopping. Him and the chain doing a wop, right? Now, check it out. This particular night, I'm sitting up on the top of this hill in these particular apartments where I'm grinding, and I'm waiting for the bros to pull up at nighttime like they do, because they'll kick it all night, crack it dawn, the sun come up, they'll go back home. It wasn't a far commute. It wasn't that far a commute. It wasn't too far a commute, okay? So, this particular night, I'm sitting out waiting. I see the three shadow figures bend the corner. Ace is long and lanky, taller. Poke was long and lanky, not as long and lanky as Ace, but long and lanky. And Styles was a lot shorter than these guys. So you can see them like stair steps coming around the corner, right? So as they come around the corner and begin to come up the hill, I noticed that Ace ain't doing the wop, y'all. Ace ain't doing the wop. Ain't no wop to his bop. Ain't no wop to your bop. Ace ain't had no wop to his bop, right? So they come up the hill, and the first thing I look and notice, I say, yo, Ace, where the fuck is your chain? He said, yo, Mo, niggas had a Mac, Mo. Niggas had a Mac, Mo. I'm like, who? So I'm looking at all three of these niggas long face. Rest in peace and Styles. All three of them long face. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all let somebody out here rob y'all niggas? So at first I'm ready to clown. Then I'm thinking about it. Like, damn, I'm the only nigga left. This shit on me. Like, damn, like I'm big homie right now. I got the little homies out of town with me, and they just got sunstroke for their 599s. This ain't gonna look good on my jacket. This is what I'm thinking. In my gangbanging state of mind. We're talking 25, 30 years ago. 25, 30 years ago. Right, so now, the boy Ace tells me they get off the train, some guy hops out of the car with a Mac, and he robs them. He robs all three of them. They don't have the hammer on them. They can't do nothing. He's quick on the draw. He got them. Okay, cool. So now, I got to resolve this situation. The first thing I think in my head is, all right, they took Ace chain. I can't get that back. But what I can do is make sure Ace goes back with a chain. We gonna get to the bottom of this. So I told them niggas, all right, this is where it gets crazy. I told them niggas I'm about to figure out who did this. Y'all go in the house. At this time, I told y'all about the DKNY thing. I had a whole bunch of angel dust. More angel dust than I can count. More angel dust than a lot of people I know. Freezers full of angel dust, right? So the fact that I did indulge at times, I'm not going to omit that. That would be an omittance of the truth, right? Now, on top of that, this is my pre-Islamic days. Me being a South Carolina boy, I had a Geechee granddaddy. I used to think I know something about the roots, about the voodoo magic. You understand what I'm saying? So I used to play a dibble and dabble and them things like that, and my brother Flash, my Jamaican brother Flash, he know I ain't gonna never tell the secret who, but they had someone mojoing on me. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let me continue on with the story. So I tell these dudes, go in the house and I'm gonna find out who did it. That means I took a bag of angel dust, rolled it up, took my shoes off, got in the grass so I could be grounded, right? Smoked the bag of angel dust, paced in the grass for about 5-10 minutes afterwards, went back in the house, put my shoes on, and I grabbed my .357 revolver. Yep. And I told Ace, grab that. That was a 12 gauge riot pump, right? So now, we go back out the door. Ace doesn't know what I got on my mind, what my plan is. Being totally honest, good 25 years later, I don't know what I had on my mind or what my plan was. But I go out the door. Ace comes following me. My second in command is standing out there in front of the building. A car pulls up, looking to buy the very product that I'm distributing at this time. So the car pulls up and says, hey, anybody got any dust out of here? I whip out the .357, run up to the passenger window, get the fuck out the car, get the fuck out the car, get the fuck out the car. He's like, don't kill me. I snatch him out the car, carjacked him. So I look at Ace. Ace is standing there, his eyes already big. Now his eyes like the size of baby shoes. He's standing like this, holding the 12 gauge. I said, get your ass in the car. Then I look at my second in command, I said, come on nigga, you driving, you got the license. Now one, I don't know why the fact that he had a license would or wouldn't matter at this point in time because we're jacking the car. Yeah. Okay, now, let me go on with this. We get in this man's car. He's standing on the side of the road. The guy look like a little Asian guy or something, right? I don't know if he's white, Asian, or Puerto Rican with chinky eyes. To me, that night, in my state of mind, looked Asian, okay? So, he's standing there on the side of the road while we're in his car. Soon as we get in his car, my second in command gets in the seat, adjusts the seat and everything. He turns up the music. What do we hear? I break bread, ribs, $100 bills, peel on Ducatis, and other 4 wheels. I'm like, go! So we charge right now, right? We charge right now. Now, the homie Ace is in the back looking at me like I am absolutely out of my mind at this point in time. My second command to my left, he's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. He's looking at me like I'm out of my mind. But I'm chilling. I'm Gucci, right? The truth of the matter is, I don't know who robbed Ace. I don't know who robbed him. But I'm telling these guys that the ancestors told me it was these niggas in these other apartments over here. Reason I said that, that's the only other place where I knew the guy was doing pretty much the same things that we were doing. So I figured they got to have a guy with a chain on their team too, right? So I'm going to get this guy. So we pull up behind this particular apartments, and we come creeping through the back. I look behind me, and I realize, or I think to myself, oh, we about to go straight to the penitentiary. There's no way that we got on masks, right? We got flags, bandanas over our face. I got on a khaki suit. I'm the only guy walking around wearing a khaki suit at this time. Okay, the whole blood thing just went totally to my head. You heard me tell the dude, get out the car, and I carjacked somebody. Yeah, I was running around with Ice-T. I was running around with Ice-T rapping. Shout out Trigger the Gambler. Ice-T and Trigger the Gambler had that true sex money guns. Yeah, they had jumped on a few songs on my album. Now I'm running around with Ice-T. I'm watching goddamn Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood and Friday every freaking day. I'm wearing khaki suits and Chuck Taylor Converse. Yes, I was the supreme bloody blood. I was Mr. Blood. Yeah, I was all the way with the shits. This is why when I say things like I say, it's with thought behind it. But now, moving forward, I look at Ace and I look at me. Here's this guy, 6'7", trying to hunch with a shotgun, with a flag over his face, and a Fat Albert jean suit. And there's another guy next to him with a flag over his face, trying to squat low between the cars, with a Dickie suit on and Chuck Taylors. Everybody in the damn town would have known that was us just by the clothes. Even if we had our face covered, we were still, if these people went to the police, or I don't know how the situation got swept away eventually, time passed, time after time passed, But yeah, our outfits alone were a dead giveaway, but in that state of mind, of course, you aren't thinking that far ahead. You're not thinking that far ahead. So we see a group of guys and they catch us in the midst of, we monkey walk, hunchback, sneak quiet. They catch me doing my monkey walk, hunchback, sneak quiet. And I see the look in their eyes like they ready to hit it. They ready to get little. And I come up, draw a beat, say, don't run. I'm going to say after this is, nobody died. Somebody got shot in the ass. And Ace got back in the car with all the bullets in his gun. Ace! Why the fuck you ain't shoot? I ain't know how to work this shit more. So unfortunately, Ace ain't getting no chain back. I told a lie, Howard does, about knowing some voodoo. And a nigga got shot in the ass. I'm going to tell you why these niggas was really believing, though, I knew some shit with the voodoo. A couple of days before the carjack scene, Ace decides he wants to indulge. Now, Ace ain't been home in a while. He just did a big. At this point in time, I had a tolerance level. I knew that he did not have a similar one, right? So I'm a little upset at Ace this day because he did something I asked him not to do. I asked him not to do something. Ace went and did it anyway. We had a little power struggle when we first encountered each other. You know, because Ace had just came home. Like I said, he was taller than me, bigger than me. He had all his muscles. I wasn't as big as I am now before I went to prison. So, you know, Ace had all his jail muscles and he's tall. And, you know, he had actually been blood before me. But he hadn't been sex, money, murder before me. He had, like, never ran with Pete and Twin and Beamo and those guys. So, you know, it was a little power struggle going on initially. So Ace wasn't too keen on trying to follow orders or didn't feel like I should be giving him orders. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you, right? This is what I'm thinking in my mind. Show you better than I can tell you. So today, he speaks of wanting to indulge, and I'm already upset with him for doing things his way instead of my way. So I'm going to fuck with this nigga. While he's smoking, I start my bullshit. I'm acting like I'm doing some voodoo on them. These niggas watching me. So now I talk shit like, yeah, nigga, you ain't want to listen to me? You think you just as smart as me? Is that nigga can't tell you that? Nigga, I just put that voodoo on your ass. Nigga, yeah, nigga, you about to be stretched out in a little while. What it was I knew I had the best goddamn PCP in town. And that shit was going to put him on his ass. He didn't understand the effects of the drug. So he's smoking the shit. Next thing you know, Ace stuck on the couch in a coma. I'm like, yeah, tell that nigga get up, y'all. Tell that nigga get up. I told y'all my shit worked. That nigga can't get up. That nigga stuck. Ace on the couch. They're like, Ace, get up. Ace like, I'm like, yeah, nigga, I put that voodoo on that nigga. That nigga ain't gonna get up till I break the spell. They're like, when you gonna break the spell? When you gonna let him get up? Please, let Ace get up. Take the voodoo off Ace. I walked out the crib on niggas like, yeah, don't challenge my authority, nigga. I put all y'all niggas down. I lay y'all niggas to sleep. I got some shit. I know the voodoo. Man, them niggas was scared to goddamn death. They believed I knew voodoo. No exaggeration. This nigga Ace was laid out for the entirety of the whole day. He was like paralyzed until the next day. He couldn't move, he couldn't function, he couldn't do anything until the next day. And this is the first time I have ever said, I did not put no voodoo on you. Nigga, just say no to drugs. Comes to wild ass stories that's crazy, but they be funny. I really got everybody beat. I'm telling you, nobody could fuck with me. I got everybody beat. Now, let me know which one y'all want to hear next. The one with this nigga, I made Neil Gibbs from Stevenson Commons. Lizette and Dougie and Christopher and them brother, Neil, the oldest one. I made Neil Gibbs have a heart attack in Chiquita House. Rest in peace to Chiquita. From Stevenson Commons. I made Neil Gibbs have a real live heart attack with the ambulance and all that shit in Chiquita House. I can tell y'all that story, how I ended up making Neil Gibbs have a heart attack at Chiquita House. Or I could tell y'all the story again, for those who haven't heard it, about the time I had the bodybuilding versus karate dance contest in Skate Key with Bimo and Marisco there. Which one of y'all think, which story y'all think is crazier? Which one y'all want to hear? Which story y'all want to hear next from my crazy mind?